Yeah.
All right, Dagoted, welcome to our very first episode of Apache Nation Athletics Podcast. This is Harrison DeClay, and I have two special guests with me today, one representing Apache Nation Athletics, who will be conducting the interview. So at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to them. Thank you again. Welcome to our podcast. We'll continue to do this hopefully every week. Thank you.
Hello, guys. My name is Harold Clausen. I'm a photographer for Apache Nation Athletics. I've been doing it for about 2 years. Just a quick update. We just try to cover as much high school athletes that we much as we can, give them the exposure that they need and stuff to have a successful career, and also to go to collegiate level as well. And also just providing pictures because everybody likes pictures. Today I'm here with Jayceon Barker, so I'll have him introduce himself. So go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jayceon Barker, and I have been born and raised here on the Fort Apache Reservation, and I reside in Cedar Creek with my mother and my grandmother. And I am so very blessed and grateful to have the opportunities that I have today. And I am super excited to be doing this, super blessed, I should say, to be one of the first ones that we're doing a podcast for Apache Nation Athletics.
All right, Jayceon, this is, like we said, this is our first podcast. You did give a little introduction. So, what school did you graduate from? And, yeah.
I graduated from Alchesay, and first, I should say, I went to JFK and Cedar Creek. I got promoted to Alchesay there, and I've graduated with a 3.3 grade point average.
All right, that's cool, man. Also, what sports do you play? What position do you play?
So I played two sports. I played football, and back in my elementary days, I played basketball as well. But for my high school career, I played football and I wrestled.
All right. So, I understand in the fall, you're going to college. So, what college are you going to be attending to?
I will be attending Doane University in Crete, Nebraska this upcoming fall semester.
Right on. So, how do you feel knowing about you're taking the next step into college football?
It's truly bittersweet to experience. I am so blessed and grateful for the opportunity that I have, and especially to have the reservation supporting me behind my back as I take this step into my collegiate level as my education and my athletic career as well.
All right. Well, we're all excited for you to continue on and stuff. So, so you're playing football for this college and this collegiate level. Let's go to the beginning. So when and where did you start playing football?
At first, I started playing flag football in 5th grade at JFK, and that was the only thing they provided there. I know Kane Day had tackle, and I really wanted to play tackle when I was a little kid, but I stayed at JFK, and I had my 5th and 6th grade and 7th grade year, I played flag football, and then 8th grade was due to COVID, and like a few other reasons why we couldn't actually have a season. And where I really, I would say, like felt passion for the game would have to be my freshman year, and I would really say that I fell in love with football my freshman year.
All right. Well, you just mentioned that you love the game of football, but what made you like what part of the sport makes you love the sport?
I truly love playing my position. You know, it really taught me a lot about not just playing on the field with executing your assignments properly, having commitment to showing up every day, and having the dedication and encouragement that you need to perform your highest on game day. And you know what truly made me fall in love with the game would have to be the bond I built with my teammates, the way I felt when I would pancake another defender, when I would throw down a guy, when I would hit someone as hard as I could, and it felt good, and I truly am grateful for this opportunity.
All right. So it's kind of like you mentioned that you have a bond with your teammates. Is it like kind of like, well, obviously it's like family where you guys got to protect your quarterback and stuff. You did mention you're on offense or defense?
I'm on offense. I played
Offense.
offense all 4 years. I've been an offensive lineman, and that's the position that I really started to develop my skills for, to really have the IQ that you would need to be an offensive lineman, as well with executing my techniques properly off the ball, and just getting my hand placement right, getting my make sure I pass it, get my kick step properly, and basically once I've known that I was going to be offensive lineman all 4 years, I just worked at that position, and I got my starting spot my sophomore year, and I kept it since.
Okay. You did mention that you're an offensive lineman. So when you first started playing football, were you always the same position, or was it like something that you had to learn in high school?
No, I actually kind of where it was taught. I was actually offensive lineman at JFK as well. I never caught the ball or scored any touchdowns or whatnot, but during my freshman year, I was put on right guard, and that is a little bit different than tackle that I played the senior year. But I've learned a lot with that right guard and being in the middle of all the chaos, I would say. And that really had, it really taught me a lot about trusting my brothers beside me, to trusting that we're going to execute what we need to do. And the senior year, we lost a lot of our previous players previous to my senior year, so I transitioned into tackle, and I felt like it was a lot more easier than in a right guard, and I really felt more comfortable being a tackle, and I truly did play my best season as a tackle my senior year.
Okay. So all this football talk and everything, but let's go to who introduced you into football, or did you always just like had a passion for it and wanted to try it?
It's going to be my cousin, Colton Zagatal. I looked up to him. He was basically my brother. We grew up together, and he's the one that played football first, and at JFK as well. And I would watch him, and I was like, next year I'm finally going to be able to do flag football, and I did. And coming in my freshman year in high school, I was so excited to be on the team with him, despite of him going to be varsity and I'm going to be JV. But he pushed me every day to show up to practice, doing conditioning, doing reps that I lost, and basically teaching me the skills that he'd learned as well. But it's truly has to have been my cousin. He's the one that introduced me to the sport and really helped me develop the passion that I have for this game.
So once he like introduced it to you, you just like, was it like automatically click, or did you like did you have to like you didn't want to play, or were you like automatically in love with the sport?
There was times I've really doubted myself. I didn't want to like show up to practice. I didn't want to, go against this guy. I didn't want to do so, but I did it anyways.
Yeah.
And I would talk to him a lot, like after practices, doing practices, and he basically was the one to keep pushing me forward and keep me thriving to be the better person that I am, because I was a really big kid, and if I never did sports, who knows, I would have probably been like obese in a way that I didn't want to become. And that was one of my motivations to get through that first football season, especially in high school.
Yeah.
Was like I was wanting to lose weight, get faster, and basically a lot came from just like showing up every day, and to finally get an opportunity to play on the field, to get the feel of an actual game day feel going against a different school. And once I got the opportunity, it was actually my first game down at Miami when I played, and I was a tight end. I was just a blocking tight end.
Yeah.
And I had executed my assignment. You know, I blocked them, and I didn't let no one get through me that game. But after that game, I would say I felt the feel for the game, and I just wanted to get better every day to beat my teammates to earn that spot.
Okay. So, we've like during, well, obviously you had a fun time for high school football, but what is like one of your favorite memories, or what's like one of the memories that you had as a youth football, like back in, you said JFK?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look back onto our almost undefeated season during flag football, and I believe it was my 6th grade year. It has to have been my 6th grade year. We went undefeated the whole season until it came down to when we played 7 Mile, and I know we came up. I think it was 2 touchdowns short, I believe. But you know, as a whole memory, my favorite season would have been that season that we
Okay.
almost went undefeated.
All right. So let's talk about your high school career now. Looking back, what's your favorite memory, or what was like your favorite moment in high school football?
My favorite moment from my whole career would have had to have been this past season, knowing that when we had that crossover game in October, knowing that if we beat Pinion, we're going to end up in the playoffs. Just that feeling going in, like that whole week of practice. We had an amazing practice. We're executing everything we needed to possibly do, having our game be the best as it could have been that for Friday night. And, you know, pre-game, I know I was so excited. I was already on the field. I was always, this whole season, this past year, I was always on the field as everyone's getting in the locker room, just relaxing. When I was on the field working on my steps, working on my pull-in, working on basically kind of like, I would say, I would say kind of separating myself from the regular people.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say like I'm better or not, but like it's just doing all the other things that no one else sees and doing the stuff that no one else does. And that's what I did every pregame. And the favorite, just like running out of that locker room, going onto the field, knowing that if we beat this team, we're gonna make the playoffs. Since Alchesay hasn't made the playoffs since 2017.
Oh yeah,
And we did it. And we beat them. We blew them out, man. We spanked them that night. I played so good that night. I know there was like this 22, the running back that everyone was all like hyping up the whole week, and they were like saying he's gonna run over us and whatnot. But defense stopped him. He only got at least one good run that game, if I remember. It was at least a burst out for like 20 yards. But defense didn't let him get any more yards. They were intercepting the ball. They were rushing, and they were making tackles. They were making sacks. And defense had a really good game that year, or a good game that night, and so did the offense too. You know, we were scoring like every drive. If I remember, we only got stopped once. I believe might have been twice, but you know, we just played our best that we have ever played was that night.
Yeah.
And you know, going into the playoffs, that we still did play good. I mean, we fell short 5 points, but you know, I really had that bestest moment going out from that Pinion game into the playoffs. I was so grateful and bittersweet to experience, especially with my brothers that I played the game that I loved with for the past 4 years.
All right. I think I remember that game. That game was pretty intense, and everybody was excited. And you know, like what you said, it's been years since Alchesay went back to playoffs and stuff. I remember that game. I was there. So also, who were your coaches or teammates that had a big impact of you in like during your high school career? Was could have been coaches, could have been one of your teammates and stuff, or you know, just like somebody who had a big impact for your career.
It would have to have been for my coaches. You know, I'm going to mention Coach Acosta first because he gave me the opportunity my sophomore year to start, and I proved to him that I deserved to be on the field and I deserved to be a starter. But the person that really gave me the encouragement and especially the dedication to teaching me different techniques, working on my footwork, working on my hand placement, working on my kick step, working on my pull-in. It would have to be Latrell Acapa. He really did care for us, and he showed us that he did care. And he would talk to me my sophomore year and saying that I could go to that I have a chance to go to college. I have a chance that he had as well. And he said that if he could go on to the next level, that I definitely can too. And I know he's proud of me. You know, he was one of the first people I told when I got that offer, and I accepted it. And he was one of the few coaches that actually truly believed in me and actually didn't doubt me in different ways. Like, yeah, he got mad at me. He did, tell me that, this is wrong what I did, but he did that because he cared. And I remember out in Red Mesa, man, I got a pancake and Coy Amos took it in for the touchdown right down the I played guard at the time, so it would have been the A gap. So he took it right down the A gap, and I came off the sideline. Latrell was all hyped up about me, and he was all like, "That's what you call it, a effing pancake." And I was so hyped up about that. And I had so many pancakes over my high school career, but that one was really one that I will remember because Latrell was really hyped up when I came off that field. And another coach would have to be Brent Loopy. He was my JV coach and currently the head coach now. But he also believed in me and he cared for us as well. And, he was a very, very good coach. He was good at developing, and I was a freshman, he was good at having us develop the skills that we needed to learn, the technique that we needed to learn. Like, he was good with working with younger kids.
Yeah.
And he was never the person to really get in your face and yell at you, but more of like telling you, like, this is what you did wrong, this is what you need to do next time, and really pushed you to do better. And for my teammates, I would have to go back to my sophomore year. I played with a lot of my friends still now, but for my teammates, like Colton Zagatal, I played with him on the line. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to play with my cousin, my brother on the offensive line. Despite of him getting hurt throughout the season and not being able to play again, that he was one of the person that really made a big impact, as well with Jawan Taylor. He was the left guard, and he also, motivated me and kept me going in the right direction and really grabbed my head back up when times got tough, when we did the wrong thing, when I got bull rushed back, and I am truly grateful for him, and as well with Nation Thomas. He was my center. I played beside. We had a beautiful communication, and he also kept me going. He would, like, during conditioning, I would be tired, and he would be like, "Come on, you stay with me," and we would get done with the conditioning. We would work out good together, and there's a lot of other. I could name a lot of my teammates that truly did mean a lot to me. But I'm gonna go into my sophomore, not my senior year. For this past year, Sheldon Zagatal was supposed to block beside me. He suffered a torn ACL during our scrimmage, and he really didn't let that stop him from trying to keep playing, and that seeing him still want to play the game that he loved after suffering a torn ACL. And man, I remember when he told me after he got hurt after the scrimmage that he had his ACL torn. Man, I shed a couple tears of him, man, because he was my brother as well, and me and him had a connection that I can't really explain. But as well with my offensive line that I played beside, like Koshin Ship, Dominic White, into Quincy Manuel, Marion Zagatal, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them, we had a beautiful connection. We would communicate properly, and we would execute our assignments. And those
Pretty. So a lot of people impacted you in your high school career and stuff. Big props to the coaches, because your coaches are always going to be your coaches. It doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
how long ago the game was or how long ago you played. Because when I did play, my coaches like, because I played in elementary, the coach is still, I still call him coach. And he's always going to be a coach. And
Yeah. I know
even
exactly what you mean.
even in junior high and high school, and I don't call them by by their names or stuff anymore. Call them coach because they're always going to be coach because they're not only coaches in the sport, but they're coaches in life too, because there is life lessons inside of playing sports and stuff. So that kind of leads up to my next question. What challenges did you face during your high school career? And so that's the downside. What challenges did you face? And then the other part is what accomplishment are you like most proud of? So we'll start with the challenges first.
So the many different challenges, like I mentioned already, like the not having the motivation to go to practice, not wanting to go against my opponent, not going when I go against the other guy. But you know, I've really kind of sorry. What? No, I'm in the middle of it.
Or again.
All right, let's go back. Okay, so what many different challenges I faced during my high school career would have had to have been, you know, finding the passion that I have now for the game, having the motivation to go against a lot bigger, stronger guys than me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would have to say injuries. Injuries, you know, in the game of football, you're going to get hurt. And, you know, throughout the whole season, your body's going to hurt. You're going to have bumps and bruises. You might, you know, jam your thumb really good. You might roll your ankle. But it's just pushing through that injury to play that game. And from my experience this past year, it was senior night. In the fourth quarter, we were getting blown out by St. John's. You know, they're a really good football team. And I held my own that game. I really didn't get put on my butt. I did my assignments as best as I could. But in the middle of the fourth quarter, we were running a play that we call as a wedge, when all 5 offensive linemen come together like almost like a wedge, like one of those axes, and we would come together hip to hip and drive as the fullback. Marshall Gregg would be behind us. And we were running that play, and I believe one of the St. John's defenders fell down onto my ankle, and I heard it pop, and I laid down, and I got up real quick, and I felt it in my leg. I knew something was wrong, but I got back into the huddle, and I know Marshall and Dom, they told me that I was good. They told me to stay in, and you know, that's the type of people that they were. And I did. I lined back up, and the next play I was pulling 45 power, and I was gonna pull, and as I got out of my stance, and I got one step in, and my next step, and going down onto my left foot again, my whole leg gave out, and I just fell down onto the ground. And then I remember laying there, and everything happened so slow. It felt like I remember laying there thinking, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. And Dom and Marshall got me up. They were walking me off the field, and I was trying to put pressure onto my foot, and I couldn't do so. And you know, Coach Brent and Watchman came out, and they got me. And I told them I was crying at the moment walking off that field, because I was so scared, thinking that was my high school career.
Yeah.
If I got hurt. And, you know, I remember crying coming off the field, and Watchman told me I was all right. I told him I remember in the moment, I told him I don't want it to end. And he told me that you're going to be all right. And that's when I got down onto the bench, and my mom was already coming off the stands. And she came over to me, and I was sitting there, and I was trying to move around my ankle. And, man, it hurted so badly. But
So,
they had got me all carried out, carted out, went over to the hospital, and come to find out I kind of had a slight sprain in my ankle. And after that, the following week into coming, I had pushed through my injury to play against St. Carlos, in which we had won as well. But
Yeah.
I would really have to say the biggest challenge is just playing through injury. That's something that I had really experienced and had a hard impact about.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you with injuries being the most challenging thing in not just in football but in any other sport and stuff, because injuries can like have you sit down. It's either just for a quarter or like maybe half of a game, or worst case scenario like the rest of your season or career and stuff. So that's pretty good, pretty challenging when it comes to injuries and stuff. Also, so after we're talking about the negative part, let's talk about the accomplishments that you're most proud of. Was there like any award that you got for the season, or was there something that a play really worked out the way like it was supposed to be, like the way how it was drawn up and stuff. So just a small, it may be like a small thing to you, but or small things to other people, but it's a real big thing to you. And these accomplishments that even if a play is really successful and it results to a touchdown, that's a huge accomplishment because it works and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So looking back into your high school career, is there like one specific play that was like really spot on and really that you accomplished?
There's a lot that I can go about. There's a lot, but there's one I'm gonna talk about. It was week 2 against Window Rock. So we're running it was supposed to be a reverse play going to the left, and I got my guy, and everyone ran. All the defense had moved. They shifted to the left, and once they realized the play was going this way, and the play was supposed to go towards the left, so I thought they had read it out, and I thought that's what was going to happen. So I shuffled back a bit, and I was looking for the corner. I thought the corner would have came, but the corner went around the back area. And I just saw the safety in the back. He was coming down this way, and I was wondering why is he coming this way to the right. I looked behind me, and I seen Austin Mason, the ball, coming towards my way. And in the moment, I just turned. I started running towards that safety, and it was just me versus that safety. And and I blew him over, and Austin went right by me, and that guy scored. And I ran over there, celebrated with him, and that was a play that wasn't supposed to be, but it worked because I was there and I helped Austin get by. And one play that I truly am looking at would have to have been against Gray Hills. I know they weren't really a great football team, but I pushed away the defender in front of me, passed them over to coach and shit, and I shuffled off, and I was waiting for the linebackers to come down, but they were slow, so I turned back, and I seen J5 Henry at the ball. I kept running forward, and I kept running for the safety in the back, and I blew over the safety, pancaked him, and J5 had landed right beside me, and I got up, and that's when I was so excited to watch that play in film. Yeah. But come to find out that J5 was kind of following me the whole time until he finally got tackled from behind from the other defenders. But he was one of I don't know why I should have mentioned him, but he's one of the best receivers, running backs that I blocked for, and that was something that I very excited, and I really looked forward to playing with them. But that was one of the plays that I really had an accomplishment for, and I could speak about so many other plays, but that one really does stick with me. And after I did that, I I kind of lifted him up a bit. I know you took that picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we'll probably add it like right here.
Yeah, but
I know I took that picture. I remember that game. You guys that game was pretty.
yeah, it was
pretty-
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the lighting was really great for my camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that game.
Mhm.
It was late early evening game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So-
And
so-
for my accomplishments, was able to receive, and truly grateful to receive, a 2A North offensive lineman, second team.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I don't really want to get into more of like drama way, but you know, there was a lot of kind of favoritism.
Yeah.
Coastal did. And you know, a lot of people told me that I should have gone first team, but you know, I'll take that second team. And you know, maybe some of the guys might be mad I said that, but you know, they knew that there was a lot of favoritism this past year, and that I know Acosta didn't really like me the greatest, I would say, but he did care in a way.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm truly blessed and grateful to receive that award.
Yeah, I mean, any award is a really good accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's something you should be really proud of and stuff, because there's like countless many football players not only on the reservation but in the state of Arizona, and then if you look beyond that, that's in the state of in the United States and stuff, and there's like this amount of awards that they can give out and stuff. So
Yeah.
they have to pick a lot of players and they have to look at a lot of players and how they perform, not even on the field or on and off the field. That it's something that they look at for like personality and how you are as a teammate and stuff. And it's not just football. I mean, there's basketball, there's track, there's any other type of sports that you do, and
I
it's
understand.
just like it doesn't matter what kind of award you get. You know, it's something that you should be always proud of and stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
I have it hanging up in my wall still.
So football is like really it's really intense. It's probably the toughest sport that you can ever play, and because that's probably the only sport that you really have contact with, like really big contact, especially if you get that big slam and hearing the shoulder pads slap with each other, and it's pretty intense, and it could get really messy, like just like a on and off switch of a light and stuff. So football is really intense sport, but with since we're talking about football, I would think there's countless of many things that there's life lessons inside of football, like so. What's one lesson that football taught you that you'll carry in life, that like what's something that it's a life lesson but only football taught you how to?
The one thing that being an offensive lineman had really taught me was I lose the rep and I get beat and I do the wrong assignment. I don't let that, despite of me just doing that and messing up, I don't let that affect my game. I don't let that affect how I'm going to continue to play the game. I get back in the huddle, line back up, and go again, and I win. And going into many different games, that did happen, but I didn't let that affect my training, didn't let that affect my technique, and I trusted in myself. And you know, that is something that I would say in life. Life is hard. You're gonna get thrown down. You're gonna think that you lost it all. You're gonna think that you don't want to keep doing this. You're gonna think it's hard. And you know, I'm still young and I experienced that already. But you know, being an offensive lineman really taught me to, despite what just happened, to line back up and go again. And that's something that I will always carry on with myself.
Yeah, I would agree with you, because it doesn't matter how life treats you and stuff. I mean, life can just throw you down, and like if you're just gonna run, and then next thing you know, like you're running, everything's successful and everything, and next thing you know, there's a defender that comes up to you and just like slams you in the face and stuff, and all you gotta do is just dust it off and get back up and like start where you